Happy Halloween from Germany. I definitely feel like I've squeezed all I can out of my day at Movie Park Germany. Happy Halloween from Germany. Today, I'm going to do another day of full-on Halloween spooks, scare mazes, and rides in the dark. For Halloween, Hollywood has turned into Horrorwood. Now, the roaming actors are still sleeping, but the roller coasters are in full flight. So I'm going to hit some rides and wait until this park turns absolutely spooky. I'm just taking a little walk down Horrorwood Boulevard. This is actually making me sad because this is a little piece of America right here in Germany. If you can't get to America this Halloween, then Europe, Germany, offers the next best thing to Universal Studios. I think it remains to be seen, but so far it's looking pretty Hollywood magic. So far, it's looking pretty good. First ride of the day, Iron Claw. That again is a bit of a head slapper. So that well and truly woke me up. Onto the next. I am getting all the coasters done in the day so I can get all the scares done after dark. This is going to sound overtly obvious, and it's probably exactly what you expect if you come to Movie Park in Germany. But there are several themed areas. At the minute, I'm in the heart of the wild, wild west. So it's kind of like Hollywood-style film sets, and you may have just spotted Santa Monica Pier that after dark turns into Santa Monica Fear. But it's kind of important to point out that if you come to the Horror Night event, in the daytime, there are no spooks. I think what happens is that there's an opening scaremony, and then the horror zones and the walkthroughs and the scare actors start to come to life. So in the daytime, it's a theme park as it would be all year round. I just got off of the Movie Park Studio Tour, which is part stunt show, part roller coaster, part visual extravaganza. You go into this set and there are costumes and production, and you end up on a roller coaster which goes inside in the dark. You'll meet King Kong, and then you'll be cast out to the elements. Not the most scary roller coaster I've ever been on, but part of the movie park experience because, of course, it takes you to Hollywood. Almost. I just went on the Star Trek ride, and so far that is my absolute favourite ride. That is delivering big, hard-hitting thrills. And what I love about this park is because I've never been here before, I'm going into a lot of these coasters blind, so I did not expect that. You basically get catapulted back and then catapulted forward, and by catapulted I mean you're on a track. It's a roller coaster, so you go backwards, then forwards, and then up this huge loop. And it takes you quite a long time to actually get on the ride because there's lots of different themed areas. So yeah, it's my favorite so far. And to be honest, I think I've covered the best of the big coasters here. I mean, there's not tons. There's a lot more family-friendly kind of rides like the Ferris wheel and stuff like that. But yeah, personal favorite. So check this ride out if you come to Movie Park Germany. It's getting dark, sort of, not long before the spooks kick in. I swear, over the last few weeks, people are convinced that I'm going to jump out of them. Maybe it's the fringe, maybe it's the slightly gothic aesthetic, but I think people think I'm a scare actor. A little bit concerning, but kind of fun. I just did the Van Helsing ride, naturally, because it's Halloween. That is the most popular ride on the park today, because it's vampire coded. It's kind of part ghost train, part roller coaster. You're in this tiny little whippy carriage, so you're just very like whippy in and out, and it's kind of in the dark. So the settings are quite impressive in there. So it's like full on Hollywood horror vibes, which is perfect considering this is the Halloween event. Still not dark, still no monsters, but we're getting closer to the opening ceremony. I'm pretty much scaring myself right now and everyone else around me, I think, but this is the way I roll, especially at this time of year. Movie Park, it's officially Spooky Park. That was March of the Monsters, and You probably can't hear me very well, but that was pretty exciting and pretty epic. I love the way all of the monsters come out in their kind of houses. So it's themed, so you have all the butchers, all the zombies, all the aliens. Yeah, pretty cool. So that has set the scene for quite an interesting evening. And I'm about to go in my first scare maze. That was my first maze-wrapped hell house. That was kind of a voyage of discovery. Basically, without giving all of the spoilers away, although I might be guilty of doing that, they basically put you on a bus. They give you this little blindfold that says Hell House, and they tell you to put it on until the bus stops. The bus stops, it drops you at this haunted, creepy, abandoned house. And there's some really cool interactive features in there. You have to crawl under a bed, you exit through a huge slide, and there's a really kind of funny bit in the middle where it's kind of some sort of seance, and you put your hand in a circle, and there's the heart, and you shut your eyes, and then the heart turns into a demon. So a few spoilers, but as you're not allowed to film inside the mazes, there's no visual spoilers, so pretty cool. Check that one out. On to the next maze. Next up, a quiet place. Weird sense of irony because it's anything but quiet at the entrance to this maze, so I'm guessing it gets a little bit more sinister when you go through that archway behind me. I just escaped from a quiet place. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have seen the movie where one little sound, one little scream summons the outer worldly creature. Well, that maze is pretty much inspired by that. And the aim is to be as quiet as possible. You're ushered through various different sets, and you're in a basement, you're in a warehouse. These actors are kind of hurrying you along, and you can see this huge creature impending, breaking through the windows, and you must escape alive, which clearly I did. And I have to say, Movie Park, epic sets, beautiful visual presentation, not overtly terrifying, but a little journey into a real life horror story. You're the passenger, and as I said, I escaped alive this time. So that was Blood Moon Trailer Park, and sorry again, no visuals to tell the story, but basically it's an abandoned caravan park in the Yosemite Mountains, and there's some very scary hillbillies jumping out at you. You have to crawl through caravan windows, through caravan toilets, and it's not too dissimilar to the abandoned caravan park I was at a few weeks ago. But yeah, pretty cool. Still 10 out of 10 for set design, but that one was pretty short, I guess. So, and of course, whoa. So I'm basically in a scare zone, as you may have guessed from that little introduction from my friend, and he completely made me lose my train of thought. So I'm going to go through to this hillbilly scare zone and see who else is going to introduce themselves to us this evening. The final maze, hopefully not the final destination, the final maze that I'm going to experience tonight is the Horror Lab. I think there might be a few spoilers in the title, but let's see how I get on. Hopefully I don't end up being part of some sort of science experiment. wasn't very horrifying. In fact, I feel that was very, very family friendly and almost completely in German. So I was just looking at some of the actors with a blank expression on my face at points. But I think they were just giving me random stuff as well. I think this is candy. And I think this might be popping candy. So I think it's sponsored by a candy brand. But these things are a little bit lost if you don't speak fluent German. And I was a terrible student at school, so that one was a little bit lost on me. I definitely feel like I've squeezed all I can out of my day at Movie Park Germany. There may have been a few things I missed on this little exploration into their horror night extravaganza, but I've experienced some of the best themed mazes. I've done the best coasters, and this is my final Halloween event for 2025. Or is it? That remains to be seen. But the spooks are going to keep coming all year round on the Brocarde show. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. Stick with me for more spooky fun. And thank you for watching. If you've got to the end, you have stuck through all of the scares. So thank you, and until next time, boo.